Hi guys, today I'm very excited to do this video because my skin is finally clearing up. I could cry actually. I'm not gonna explain like the whole history of what happened with my skin at this moment just because it's like a lot. Essentially, I had acne my whole life. The last 10 years has been pretty good. I'm now 30, and then a few months ago my skin broke out really bad and different than it ever had before. It wasn't cystic, it was like whiteheads, it was itchy, it was terrible. I tried everything and I was sure it was fungal acne, and apparently it wasn't, which is shocking to me just because everything online said it was. I switched my entire routine to fungal acne safe, and then finally I was able to get into the dermatologist and she gave me tretinoin. Now I've used tretinoin before, but years ago, and eventually it ended up making me very dry. Now instead of sandwiching it or using it every other day, I just stopped using it. So that was kind of my mistake, and I didn't really know that I could do those things, I guess, at the time. I was a little bit nervous about tretinoin because I know it can be very drying. Essentially, tretinoin is a very heavy-duty exfoliator. Tretinoin is for acne, it is for wrinkles, it is for everything. Essentially, it's like a miracle product. Everyone loves it. It's going wild on social media right now, but it is a prescription product, so you can only get it with a prescription. My doctor also ended up giving me clindamycin as well, so I use one at night and one during the day. But literally within 4 to 5 days of going on tretinoin, my skin cleared up, and I'm in shock because I tried everything. I also was on a Dermatica tretinoin mixture, which Dermatica is kind of like Curology. It's like an online prescription where they give you something based on photos, but you don't share that much information, and I believe that was like a lower percentage I was on, but my doctor gave me the highest also because my wedding is in September and I really wanted to make sure it cleared up by then. And as you can see, I mean, my skin is in no way perfect. All of this is scarring. I have a lot of scarring, but there's no longer active breakouts, and that happened in 4 to 5 days. But within that 4 to 5 days, my skin became extremely dry. I can put some pictures in here. It's kind of hard to see dryness on camera, but it was all like everywhere, just dryness. I would wake up in the morning and it was like flaking, to the point where when you wash your face, like you can see pieces of skin coming off in your hand. So I kind of changed up my routine, not only because my doctor told me I didn't have fungal acne, which at first I really didn't believe. I was really nervous she was wrong. But I do think she was right now that my skin has cleared up with these products. So I kind of switched, like I said, to this routine, not only because it's safer, not safer, but like very gentle and basic, but also because my skin is so dry from the tretinoin. I didn't want to stop using it. I didn't want to use it every other day because I felt like I didn't want to lower the effects or slower the effects. I just want to help with the dryness. So I'm just gonna run through my routine really quickly because I feel like this is very helpful, affordable as well. So if you guys are using tretinoin or about to use tretinoin or considering trying it, these are the products I would recommend. So I use Vanicream Gentle Facial Cleanser, and it's great. My dermatologist did recommend I use benzoyl peroxide twice a week. I did buy the cleanser, but I'm very nervous because last time I used benzoyl peroxide, the dryness was painful. And because it's working without that, I don't know if I'm gonna use that. Also, my dermatologist did also tell me that I didn't need moisturizer with tretinoin, that the amount of moisture in the clindamycin and in my daily sunscreen would be enough, which is completely not true, and I don't think she should have recommended that, especially since I explained that I normally do have drier skin. She was in a bit of a rush. Regardless, I looked and did my own research, and almost every doctor will say that to not damage your skin barrier from using a product that's as exfoliating as tretinoin, you need a heavier moisturizer. So use a gentle cleanser, something that isn't going to strip your skin or dry it out or extra exfoliate. So that's what I'm using. And then in morning and night, I do go in with this just because I'm nervous about the acne. I want to make sure it's like antibacterial, and this is the hypochlorous acid. You can get this from a ton of different brands. This is just the one that I have here. So I just spray this on my face and let it dry morning and night. It doesn't dry your skin out, it just helps with bacteria. So I do use that. And then in the morning, I go in with the clindamycin that I was prescribed. So I use that, let that absorb, and then I go in with the Paula's Choice Essential Glow Moisturizer with SPF. So this is my daily SPF. This is the product I actually stopped using when I thought it was fungal acne because it isn't fungal acne safe, but now I'm using it again. My skin's doing very well. So I don't think it was fungal acne, which is shocking because the pictures look just like the pictures online of fungal acne. I was actually surprised my doctor didn't do a test on my skin to see if it was fungal acne. She was just so sure. But this is the one I use. I love it. It offers tons of moisture. If it's not enough, because some days it is and some days it's not, then I go in with this, which has been my holy grail. It is the Vanicream Moisturizing Cream. This can be used on your face and your body. I love the pump. I love the jar. It's a lot of product. So I just take some out and kind of like, just as much as you think you need, and kind of like dot it in the areas that are more flaky or feel dry. So I get that a lot around my mouth, my nose, and in here, and definitely in my brows as well. And then if I really feel like it's dry, I will go in with the Vanicream Healing Ointment. I prefer Vanicream over CeraVe or any of those other brands because they have so many fewer harsh ingredients or ingredients that can bother you. And if you tend to have more sensitive skin, whether it's breaking out, redness, or any kind of reaction, I would recommend, instead of like the healing ointments or, you know, CeraVe moisturizer, or even CeraVe cleanser, to go with Vanicream. I just feel like it's safer. But then I would go in with this. This is essentially like Vaseline, and you just kind of dot it on those spots to really hold in that moisture. I think it's really helpful, especially like around the eyebrow area. At night, again, I will go in with the Vanicream cleanser after my first cleanse, and then at first I was just using the Tretinoin and then going in with my moisturizer, but I decided to switch when I started getting super dry. So now I go in with this serum first. It is the Centella and Scented Serum. It's really popular on Amazon, and essentially it just has ceramides, peptides, it's essential oil free. It's really basic and it's very thin and absorbs really quickly, but it's supposed to be super hydrating. Apparently Centella, which is green tea, is better than hyaluronic acid. So I've used this, let it absorb, and then I go in with the Tretinoin, which you also don't need a lot of. And a lot of things online actually say you shouldn't put anything on your skin an hour before this and an hour after. I found that not to be true. When I did do that, I got way more dry. So I use this, let it completely absorb, like wait a few minutes, and then use this, let this completely absorb. So I'm not waiting an hour, but like, you know, almost 5 minutes. And then I go in with this again. I don't need a lot of this. You definitely don't need a lot of this. It's like a thick moisturizing cream, but just enough. And I pat it in, you know, make sure it's completely absorbed. Take it down the neck, take it like underneath the ears, because Tretinoin does bleed, is that the word? It transfers a little, so like if you're putting it here, it will go under the eye on that more sensitive skin, but you do want to make sure you're careful because it can be so drying. Use this as my face cream and it has been amazing. And then areas, like I said, that still like look flaky, I will use this one again to kind of seal that in all night long. I would recommend not exfoliating, so don't use a BHA like salicylic acid. Don't use a towel on your face. When you wash your face, use cool water, not hot or cold, because that can damage your skin barrier as well. And then rinse. And I tend to keep rinsing with cool water until I don't feel that peeling of my skin underneath. And then I will pat my skin dry with a very soft towel. No rubbing, no tugging. It can be very tempting when you're peeling like that to take a towel and kind of rub it to make it go away. That will only make it worse and irritate it more, and actually leave you feeling more dry. So I would recommend not doing that. If you're gonna want to get all that skin off, like say you want to wear makeup or something, just use your hands in the cool water, and then pat it dry and go in with this kind of a routine. I really recommend it because this is what's been working for me, and I've tried everything. If you have acne, what mine looked like, I'm going to show you before and afters. I would definitely recommend asking your doctor about Tretinoin if you can't get in to see a dermatologist, which is a very common issue. It took me months and I had to like pretty much beg my primary care doctor to call them on my behalf to get me in sooner. I would definitely recommend not even trying, you know, Curology or Apostrophe or any of those online ones, but there is stuff like Nurx where you can kind of leave them a full message, explain your situation, and actually request like, I want Tretinoin 1%, and that kind of thing. So, and I think it's more affordable. It's like $30 a month for like about a tube this big, which is fair if your insurance won't cover it, because I don't think Nurx takes all insurances. So it may take some, but my insurance covered this completely, as well as this. So my skin hasn't looked this good in months, and I could get emotional about it because I was feeling so down and like low confidence about it. I really just wanted to share this and talk about my routine because the first thing I noticed when I started using it was the dryness, and I had a feeling that was going to happen, and I didn't want to stop taking it or even lessen taking it, which you totally can if you're not on a time, you know, schedule like me. And the dryness is not supposed to be long lasting. It's supposed to last a few weeks, and then your skin kind of should get used to it. It shouldn't be like a forever kind of situation. And it's a very common and normal side effect. It's definitely not something that should stop you from using it because it means it is working. Yeah, that's my routine for using tretinoin and getting the results you want without so much so that you're drying. And like I said, this isn't necessarily preventing the drying, but it's dealing with it and managing it while you're going through that drying period. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions down below. So if you have this kind of acne, then I would definitely recommend trying to get some tretinoin. If you think it's fungal, it very well may not be, because I was so sure. I was beyond sure, and I was wrong, which is hard to admit because I'm not a professional and because so many things online said that it was fungal acne and that their doctor said it wasn't, and that didn't look like it, and that nothing they did helped. So I was very nervous that that was going to happen. When I left my dermatologist, I wasn't feeling hopeful, and this worked, so I just want to put that out there. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to hear more about like my skin, its journey for the last few months, please let me know and I'd be happy to talk more about it and maybe even like the impacts of it. So I will see you guys very soon.